What stands out about Malik Nabers?
He's special. Well, part of it, when you're evaluating guys coming out of college, like DBs, you want to see him play against the best receivers. So a lot of DBs I looked at, if they played LSU, I was watching that game, so I noticed him right away. But I think he's an electric playmaker. I think very good just in terms of his catch radius. Very good run after the catch. Quick. He can do it all. He really has like a slot receiver movement skills, but has a size to play outside.
And I'm guessing Kool-Aid was one of those guys that
He was.
Yeah.
He mentioned that. I said, hey, you did it in college. Now it's time to do it in the NFL. So I definitely took advantage of that. But he's familiar with them. You know what I mean? So it'd be a good matchup.
What do you remember about watching kind of their college battles? Like what stood out to you about how they?
I watched so many plays. I just remember in general that he played well in that game. It was a good battle. But
so what has led to frustrations with the run defense or lack of consistency being able to stop the run?
Yeah, it was. We looked at it because it was frustrating during the game because we was working trying to figure it out. And trust me, I was calling everything we had. This in terms of trying to stop the run, but when you really look at it, it comes down to being assignment sound. We have to have better gap control. We have to have better discipline in our run fits. We have to tackle better. But that's what it really was. Because they had two explosive runs. So I think 159 yards rushing, they had two explosive runs. But there was a bunch of 8 and 9 yard runs. And that's what we got to eliminate. And it really comes down to playing responsibility football.
I don't want to ask you, obviously, to single out players who are making mistakes. But, you have a very veteran front seven, and injuries haven't really hit that group that much. Why would like gap soundness be an issue for guys who've been playing so long?
You have to give credit to them. Really schematically, what they were doing in the run game kind of changed. They really played us differently in the run game and the pass game in terms of what we were expecting. But in terms of how they were running some of their runs was different than we expected. So we were trying to adjust. And as I said, there's some good things we did, but overall, we got to have more consistency with our fits.
Speaking of Kool-Aid, we just haven't seen teams go at him a lot in the last couple weeks. Is that because he's doing something really well, or that's happenstance?
Yeah, I felt like this game was good. This past game was good for the back end because we knew it was a challenge going in, just in terms of the skill players they had. And I think between Puka and Cooper Kupp, they had 60 yards between the two of them. So I think that's a credit. But at the same time, there was a few routes that we let go that cost us in the game. But to answer your question, I don't know. I think he's doing a good job. Want him to be more consistent throughout the whole game. But, I think he's improving every week.
What did you see on the 140 plus yard reception to Demarcus Robinson over in the backfield? I know it was right after Tyron came on for a minute correctly.
Just relaxed. Yeah. Just relaxed a little bit at the top of the route because 2 plays before I showed him. I said, you got the same route 2 plays before and you played it perfect. But I think right at the top of the route, he just relaxed for a split second. And when he stuck his foot in the ground, he couldn't catch it.
Okay, thank you.
It's quick. All right, guys. Hey, I'll see you in New York.